Hi friends, do you know why UCP 600 Article 19 is so critical? Because Article 19 deals with multimodal transport document under LC. What is multimodal? A transport document that covers two or more different modes of transport. Very simple. Imagine you are an exporter and you are the beneficiary of the LC and your goods travel first by road, then by sea, and then again by road to reach the final destination as per the contract, as per the LC. Whether you will require 3 transport document or just one multimodal transport document. What happens if the date of issuance of multimodal transport document differs with the date of shipment? Which one will be counted? If the LC only states port of shipment and port of discharge, whether LC can stipulate multimodal transport document as one of the required documents or not. What if your multimodal transport document does not indicate a dated shipped on board notation and LC requires shipment to commence from a port, whether bank will accept this multimodal transport document or not? As a beneficiary of the LC, you must be aware of each and everything about multimodal transport documents so that you should be able to submit a complying presentation to the bank to get the payment under LC, right? Remember, multimodal transport document allows goods to be shipped from beneficiary's premises to applicant's premises under a single document. So stay with me till the end of this video because I am going to discuss today in detail each and every aspect of UCP Article 19 which is related to multimodal transport document. Hi, I am Isaac Tudu, an ex-banker with State Bank of India and ICICI Bank. Now I help all the trade finance professionals for CDCS exam preparation. So without wasting more time, let us start understanding about UCP Article 19. So let us understand UCP 600 Article 19 related to multimodal transport documents. So 19A says a transport document covering at least two different modes of transport, multimodal or combined transport document, however named, must appear to. So transport document covering at least two different modes of transport. This phrase is not a title of the type of documents covered but a description of the type of documents covered. We need to understand this. What is the meaning of modes of transport? Modes of transport indicates the type or you can say nature of the transport. For example, transportation by sea or transportation by road or transportation by air. Okay, let us understand this in detail. Here we go. You will recall field number 44 of MT 700 Swift message. 44A, you can say place of taken in charge. Here it is given Ahmedabad. 44E, port of loading, it is given Port Nhava Sheva. 44F, it is a port of discharge, Durban port. And 44B, nothing is mentioned. So just remember when 3 or 4 of fields 44A, 44B, 44E and 44F are completed, the required document should be a multimodal transport document. So in this case, place of taking in charge is Ahmedabad. So goods will go from Ahmedabad to Port Nhava Sheva by road. Okay, so road is mode of transport. And from Nhava Sheva, it will go by sea to port of discharge Durban. Means here, you can say mode of transport will be sea. So road plus sea, it is more than two different modes of transport has been used, right? Another example could be maybe from Port Durban, it goes by road to Johannesburg. This is again the case of multimodal transport document. Or you can say that starting point is port of loading, Nhava Sheva port. So port to port shipment, it will be mode of transport would be sea. And from Port Durban, it goes to Johannesburg by road. So again, sea plus road. So two different modes of transport have been used. It is typical case of multimodal transport document. So going back again there, multimodal or combined transport document, whatever name could be. Further, it says however named. So important is name of the transport document is not so important. Rather, it describes the way the goods are being moved utilizing at least two different modes of transport. For example, by road, then sea, or maybe starting with sea, then by road, or maybe by air, right? So must appear to. So let us read it. Once again, a transport document covering at least two different modes of transport, multimodal or combined transport document, however named, must appear to indicate the name of the carrier and be signed by the carrier or a named agent for or on behalf of the carrier or the master, or a named agent for or on behalf of the master. So you can see that a transport document must appear to indicate the name of the carrier, right? So name of the carrier need to be there in multimodal transport document. So to comply, the multimodal transport document must indicate both name of the party acting as the carrier like ABC Company Limited and indicate that the party is acting as carrier. For example, ABC Company Limited acting as carrier. This information is important not only for the bank but for the applicant to know who is obligated on the contract of carriage. Further, it says be signed by. Now, multimodal transport document can be signed by whom? The carrier or a named agent for or on behalf of the carrier, or the master or a named agent for or on behalf of the master. Any signature by the carrier, master or agent must be identified as that of the carrier, master or agent. Any signature by an agent must indicate whether the agent has signed for or on behalf of the carrier or for or on behalf of the master, right? So multimodal transport document can be signed by carrier or master captain of the vessel, right? And when carrier signs a multimodal transport document, carrier must be identified as the signature of the carrier. That means what? This article requires that a signature by the carrier be identified as that of the carrier like ABC Company Limited. If it is the named carrier, then ABC Company Limited, comma, the carrier, or for ABC Company Limited as carrier, it could be signed, right? What about master? Any signature by master must be identified as that of the master. Fine. This article provides that transport document may be signed by or on behalf of the master, captain of the vessel, and the signature by the master be identified as that of the master or captain of the vessel, right? Remember, name of the master or captain need not be there. Let us move forward. Any signature by the agent must be identified as that of the agent, right? If an agent signs, the signature must clearly show that it is the agent signature and must specify whether the agent is signing for or on behalf of the carrier or master. When agent signs a multimodal transport document for or on behalf of the carrier, the agent is to be named and in addition to indicate that it is signing as agent for, maybe in this case we have taken the example ABC Company Limited, the carrier, or agent on behalf of ABC Company Limited, the carrier, or words of similar effect. Like that, when an agent signs a multimodal transport document for or on behalf of the master or captain, the agent is to be named and in addition to that need to indicate that agent is signing as agent for the master or captain of vessel so and so, or agent on behalf of the master captain of vessel, or words of similar effect. Again, I will repeat, the name of the master captain need not be mentioned. Let us understand this with an example. Okay. So here is the situation that, okay, LC is to plates, field number 44E, port of loading, Namasheva port, port of discharge, Durban port, place of final destination, Johannesburg. Typical case of multimodal transport document. This is the multimodal transport document complying with the LC requirement, right? Here you can see port of loading, port Namasheva, port of discharge, Durban port, place of delivery, Johannesburg, going by road from port of discharge, right? So how this multimodal transport documents can be signed? ABC Company Limited is the named carrier, so it would be signed like this: ABC Company Limited, comma, the carrier, or maybe for ABC Company Limited as carrier. Absolutely okay. And what if agent is signing on behalf of the carrier? Then agent name is XYZ Company Limited as agent for ABC Company Limited, comma, the carrier. So here carrier is also named, right? Again, You can see here, next example, you can see XYZ Limited Company, agent on behalf of ABC Company Limited, comma, the carrier. Absolutely okay. What about when it is signed by master or captain? Master captain of vessel Samudran. Absolutely fine. There is no need to mention name of the master or captain, right? When agent is signing on behalf of the master captain, XYZ Company Limited, as agent for master of vessel Samudran, or maybe XYZ Company Limited as agent on behalf of master of vessel Samudran. So this is simple example I have given related to UCP article 19A1, right? Let us move to the next A2. 19A2 says transport document must appear to indicate that the goods have been dispatched, taken in charge or shipped on board at the place stated in the credit by pre-printed wording or a stamp or notation indicating the date on which the goods have been dispatched, taken in charge or shipped on board. The date of issuance of the transport document will be deemed to be the date of dispatch, taken in charge or shipped on board, and the date of shipment. Further, it says, however, if the transport document indicates by stamp or notation a date of shipment, taken in charge or shipped on board, this date will be deemed to be the date of shipment. So this sub-article can be divided in two parts. 19A2 first part says it requires that multimodal transport document indicate the goods have been dispatched, taken in charge or shipped on board at the place mentioned in LC by pre-printed wording, right? In this case, the date of issuance of the multimodal transport document will be deemed to be the date of shipment. Whatever will be the date of issuance of multimodal transport document, you take that date as date of shipment, matter closed. What about the second part? So UCP article 19A2 also states that an indication of dispatch taken in charge or shipped on board at the place stated in the LC by a stamp or notation indicating the date on which the goods have been dispatched, taken in charge or shipped on board. When the transport document includes a stamp or notation, the date shown therein as the date of dispatch, taken in charge or shipped on board will be deemed to be the date of shipment, whether or not this date is prior to or after the date of issuance of the multimodal transport document. So understand, when there is separate dated on-board notation, you need to take that date as date of shipment, not the issuance date of multimodal transport document, right? Let us understand this with an example. Here we go. You can see here all four fields have been completed. Means place of receipt Ahmedabad, port of loading Nhava Sheva port, port of discharge Durban port, and place of final destination Johannesburg. This is the LC requirement, and you have received the multimodal transport document complying with the LC requirement. Each and everything is there. You can see here date of issuance is given 24th March, right? So as there is no separate onboard date is mentioned on multimodal transport document, this date of issuance of multimodal transport document will be treated as date of shipment. That is 24th March you need to take as date of shipment. Another scenario, here we find that, okay, it starts with shipment by sea, port of loading Nhava Sheva port is there, port of discharge Durban port, going to Johannesburg. Here you have received multimodal transport document, right? You can very much see there, apart from date of issuance of multimodal transport document, it has also been given separate dated shipped on board. What is the date of shipped on board? 23rd March. So since a separate dated on board notation, that is 23rd March, is there on multimodal transport document, this date will be deemed to be the date of shipment, means 23rd March will be taken as date of shipment, not the issuance date of multimodal transport document, right? So please remember this. Fine. Let us move forward. Article 19A3. It says multimodal transport document must appear to indicate the place of dispatch, taken in charge or shipment, and the place of final destination stated in the credit, even if the transport document states in addition a different place of dispatch, taken in charge or shipment, or place of final destination, or the transport document contains the indication intended or similar qualification in relation to the vessel, port of loading or port of discharge. So let us understand this. So this particular UCP article permits the multimodal transport document to indicate other place. Let us see. Here it starts with shipment by sea, Port Nhava Sheva, going to the port of discharge, Durban port, and place of final destination, Johannesburg. You have received this multimodal transport document. You can very much see that everything is complied, right? Port Nhava Sheva, port of loading, port of discharge, Durban port, place of delivery, Johannesburg. But you can see that it starts not from port of loading, but prior to that also it is given place of receipt, that is Ahmedabad. So this particular UCP article permits the multimodal transport document to indicate other places relating to the journey of the goods prior to the place of dispatch, taken in charge or shipment, or you can say in next case, or after the place of final destination mentioned in the LC. You can see here in this example, it starts with road. Okay, so place of receipt Ahmedabad, port of loading Nhava Sheva port, and port of discharge Durban port. You can see here everything is complied in this particular multimodal transport document, but it goes beyond port of discharge. It goes to Johannesburg. So after the final destination also it is mentioned. So this allows a carrier to issue a document which covers not only the journey foreseen by the sea. In this example, you can see it starts from Ahmedabad instead of Port Nhava Sheva, and in this example it goes up to the final place of destination, that is Johannesburg, not only up to the Durban port. So this allows a carrier to issue document which covers not only the journey foreseen by the LC, but the entire journey of the goods. Please note that when LC requires shipment to commence from a port like this, when the first leg of the journey as required by the sea is by sea, a multimodal transport document is to indicate a dated onboard notation. Be clear on that, right? So let us move forward. This article also states that the place of dispatch, taking in charge or shipment, and the place of final destination is stated in the LC, even if the transport document contains the indication intended or similar qualification in relation to the vessel, port of loading or port of discharge. So understand this. What does it mean? The intended meaning of this phrase is that the appearance of the term intended renders a multimodal transport document discrepant. If word intended is there, then it will be a case of discrepancies, unless multimodal transport document indicates the place of initiation and final destination of the journey, and that the term intended does not fulfill this requirement. So merely mentioning the word intend or similar words will not do the purpose of LC requirement. Actual requirement of the LC need to be captured in multimodal transport document, right? All these three which is there in this particular example need to be captured. Word intended will not work, right? If only intended word is there, it means it is a case of discrepancies. Multimodal transport document need to indicate place of dispatch, taken in charge or shipment, and place of final destination as per LC, right? Let us move forward. Okay, so 19A4 says a multimodal transport document must appear to be the sole original transport document, or if issued in more than one original, be the full set as indicated on the transport document. So very simple, right? So multimodal transport document must appear to be sole original document that has been issued, or if it indicates that it has been issued in more than one original, all of the original multimodal transport document need to be presented, right? Unless LC itself indicates disposal instruction for one or more original multimodal transport documents. So a multimodal transport document is to indicate the number of originals that have been issued. Next it says 19A5 says a multimodal transport document must appear to contain terms and conditions of carriage or make reference to another source containing the terms and condition of the carriage, short form or blank back transport document. Contents of terms and condition of carriage will not be examined. So be clear on this. Multimodal transport document usually contains the terms and condition of the carriage. Where you will find the terms and condition of the carriage? On the back side of the multimodal transport document, very fine print, it will be printed, right? However, as this is not always the case, this sub-article allows a multimodal transport document to make reference to a source other than the document itself. Means nothing will be printed on the back side of the multimodal transport document. Only the source will be given to determine these terms and conditions. Okay. So a multimodal transport document that contains a reference to a source other than itself is described as short form or blank back transport document. Remember, banks are not going to examine the content of the terms and condition of carriage. So be clear on that. Next is basically it is 19A6. It says multimodal transport document must appear to contain no indication that it is subject to a charter party. So this article stipulates that multimodal transport document must not contain an indication that it is subject to a charter party. What does it mean? Nowhere in multimodal transport document the word charter party should come. The term no indication means that a multimodal transport document that bears any indication that it is subject to a charter party would not be acceptable. It will be a case of discrepancies. Example of no indication, you can see that it could be mentioned there to be used with charter parties, or it could contain the following data: freight payable as per charter party, or charter party contact number so and so. These all will fall under this category, means it will be case of discrepancies. It will be subject to a charter party. So please remember, nowhere in the multimodal transport document the word charter party should appear. Further, we need to understand Article 19B. For the purpose of this article, transshipment means unloading from one means of conveyance and reloading to another means of conveyance, whether or not in different modes of transport during the carriage from the place of dispatch taken in charge or shipment to the place of final destination is stated in the credit. So let us understand quickly what is the meaning of means of conveyance. What does it mean? Means of conveyance indicates vessel. In case mode of transport is by sea, then means of conveyance will be vessel. Okay. So in case modes of transport is road, then means of conveyance will be truck. In case mode of transport is air, then means of conveyance will be aircraft. So you can say that means of conveyance indicates vessel, aircraft, truck, etc. depending on the mode of transport. We have understood mode of transport means it indicates the type and nature of the transport. For example, transport by sea, by air, by road, etc. Now, understand the basic concept that transshipment will always be applicable with multimodal transport document, right? So unloading and reloading of goods from one means of conveyance to another means of conveyance, whether or not in different modes of transport during the carriage of those goods from the place of receipt, dispatch or taking in charge, port of loading or airport of departure to the place of final destination, port of discharge or airport of destination stated in the LC will be treated as transshipment. Understand the concept. Let us see here what is the LC requirement: port of loading, Port Nhava Sheva, port of discharge, Durban port, going to place of final destination, Johannesburg, right? So this is the multimodal transport document we have received. You can see that very much complied with the LC requirement: port of loading, port of discharge, and place of delivery. So understand the transaction. So here what has happened that goods were loaded on the vessel at port of loading. When this vessel reaches, Samudran vessel reaches to Durban port, goods were unloaded from this means of conveyance vessel and reloaded to another means of conveyance truck, and it goes by road to Johannesburg by truck. Okay. And this unloading from one means of conveyance and reloading to another means of conveyance has taken place between port of loading and the place of final destination between Port Nhava Sheva and Johannesburg. Then it is a case of, you can say, transshipment, right? Another example you can see here, here you can see Nhava Sheva port is place of receipt. Okay. Vessel is Samudran. Port of loading is Jebel Ali Port. Vessel is Sagarika. Port of discharge Durban Port going to Johannesburg by road. Here you can see it is transshipment has taken place. Why we are saying this? Because goods were first loaded on vessel Samudran at Port Nova Shiva. When it reaches to Jebel Ali Port, goods were unloaded from one vessel Samudran, reloaded to another vessel Sagarika, and from Jebel Ali Port it goes to Durban Port. Then goods were again unloaded and reloaded in truck and it goes to Johannesburg by road. Okay, so you can very much see that unloading and reloading has taken place between port of loading and place of final destination as per LC. Then it is a case of transshipment. Again, I will repeat, in case of multimodal transport document, transshipment is going to happen. Let us understand further. It is 19C. C1 says a transport document may indicate that the goods will or may be transshipped provided that the entire carriage is covered by one and the same transport document. Okay. So this particular article explains that transshipment must be evidenced within one and the same transport document. Separate documents covering each leg of journey would not be acceptable. Further, we see here 19C2 says a transport document indicating that transshipment will or may take place is acceptable even if the credit prohibits transshipment. So this article states that transshipment is allowed even when it is prohibited in the LC. LC says transshipment not allowed. Despite that, it is allowed, as transshipment always occurs when more than one mode of transport is involved. This sub-article provides a definite rule where a LC in error contains a condition that transshipment is prohibited. Again, I will say that in case of multimodal transport document, transshipment always should be allowed. It is going to happen. Remember, when goods are to be transported in one or more containers, the required transport document should be multimodal transport document. Why? As the container will be handed over to the carrier or its agent at a place other than the port of loading and will be made available to the consignee at a place other than the port of discharge, for example, container terminal or container yard. With this, we are done with today's understanding about UCP Article 19. This is my contact details. This is my WhatsApp number. This is my email. You can jot it down. You can take the screenshot of this. I know that this video has become slightly longer, and if you are still watching this video, I really appreciate your patience. But I can tell you one thing, that I never wanted to compromise on the content of the video. That's why I thought that let it take time. Okay. If you want me to create videos on any of the trade finance related topics, please put it in comment box. And if you have got some value from this video, please like and share this video, and definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video.